not. Is TJ Warren the next Michael Jordan? No, he's not. He's having a very good playoffs, or I guess not playoffs, but he's having a very good bubble performance. Let's see this continue over the next 6 years, and then we'll talk. But take everything at its face value. Stop trying to find something to dive into, and just take it for what it is. The Lakers have not shot well. They will be better. The Clippers are not the worst team because they lost to the Suns. They will be better. The Suns are not going to win the NBA championship. They're probably going to miss the playoffs. So take it for what it is, please. Stop writing to me and saying that the Portland Trail Blazers are going to knock off the Los Angeles Lakers in round 1. Stop telling me that the Clippers are going to lose in round 1 against the Mavericks. Stop telling me that TJ Warren could be the next Michael Jordan. Take it for what it is. There's a reason that when I do a top 10 of any list, I don't include rookies on my top 10 lists. I don't care how good that rookie is. I don't care how good that rookie season was. I take everything for face value. Consistency over time proves greatness. I had a discussion with a buddy earlier this year talking about why I didn't have Luka Doncic in my top 10 NBA players in the league right now, because Luka's not been doing this for 5-6 years. Once we see Luka really dominate, once we see Luka's consistent domination over the league over the next 3 to 4 years, for sure I'll have Luka in my top 10. But I'm not going to overreact. I can't stand these sports media outlets that continue to overreact over one losses, or if it's an injury, absolutely you can overreact. If LeBron James breaks his leg today versus the Indiana Pacers, then without a doubt, not only overreact, but panic. The city of Los Angeles might as well burn the Staples Center down and build it to the Clippers. I mean, but don't overreact. Trust me. There's nothing good that comes out of it. You end up sounding like a fool when it comes in a month and go, oh, well, I really thought that. No. It always proves over time where consistency, greatness, and everything lies. That's just my little words of wisdom to you. That's more so to a couple of family members of mine that write into me or talk to me all the time with their foolish opinions. You know who you are. I love you all, but good grief. No, I'm not hitting the panic button on the Clippers. No, I'm not hitting the panic button on the Lakers. No, the Suns are not the best team in the bubble right now. Come on, let's be real. I feel better, guys. Like I said, you guys are my therapy session. I love getting on here and just ranting. It just drives me up a daggum wall watching, I'm not going to name specific sports talk shows because I'd love to work on one day, but it just drives me up a wall. One loss from the Lakers, or one win from the Clippers, or one win for the Mavericks, or one win for the Suns, or TJ Warren this or that. I mean, people just turn into, everything's the gotta grab it, gotta have it's greatest thing, worst thing, everything's the best or the worst. I mean, I'm here to tell you there's a medium road. There's a good chance that the Los Angeles Lakers shoot a very high percentage tonight versus the Pacers and slowly start getting back on track to the team that they were before the break. There's a very good chance TJ Warren's going to crash down to earth at some point, and he's going to have a 13-point game with 2 rebounds and 6 turnovers, and then we're all going to be wondering what happened to the next Michael Jordan. All right, guys, just take a deep breath with me. Let's take this one day at a time. Now, if the Lakers are down 3-0 in a series, I will hit the panic button myself and then start flipping out. But I try and keep it very objective, very calm. I hope that you all can see that. That's one of my biggest goals in this podcast, is come from a very honest, open, relaxed perspective. I had a couple people that reminds me. I had a questionnaire on my Instagram at Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley, and I had a couple people write me as to who I thought was the better running back, who I would choose. I had a couple people talk to me about Derrick Henry, why I put him behind Christian McCaffrey, and I'm not going to overreact because Henry won the rushing title. I'm not going to overreact because what he did in the last 7 games. I like the consistency. I want to see Henry start doing this from game 1, day 1. But, that's a different subject for a different day. Let's go ahead and finish out the NBA real quick. Who is my surprise team for the bubble? Well, without a doubt, it's got to be the Phoenix Suns. No one expected the Phoenix Suns to be 4-0. No one expected Devin Booker to come out here and do what Devin Booker does, which is one of my favorite players in the league and somebody I love to watch, and that's Devin Booker balls. Straight up. Devin Booker is probably top 6 player in the bubble, in my opinion. LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, James Harden, Russell Westbrook, and then I put Devin Booker right on that outskirts with him and Dame. I go Dame before Devin, but, I mean, he's a top 10 player in this bubble. Devin Booker is underrated. He's an incredible shooter, a great playmaker, a good teammate. He's a leader. He needs to either get out of Phoenix or Phoenix needs to start getting better players to Phoenix. Because I don't want to see Devin Booker's talents wasted and him not win any championships because he's having to resurrect the trash Suns the next 10 years of his career. So the Phoenix Suns are my surprise team without a doubt. Do I think the Phoenix Suns are going to do any damage come later in the year? No. I don't think that they're going to end up making the playoffs. I don't see this as the Phoenix Suns rise to greatness over the next 10 years. I'll settle down on that, but I think the Phoenix Suns are definitely my surprise team. I would say they're probably a lot of your surprise teams as well. Someone else in that running could be the Miami Heat. I didn't get to watch a lot of the Miami Heat while the season was going on. Apparently, they've been doing this all year. They're very consistent. They're very good, very well coached. They're deep. The Heat can make a real noise in the next couple years, especially in the East, if the Bucks don't shape up. I really like the Heat, but the Phoenix Suns are my surprise team. And last but not least, you wonderful people, I got one more question that was written in today. What do I think of James Harden and the Rockets? What do I make of James Harden and the Rockets? I've been saying this for months and months and months. Go back to my first podcast when I talked about the NBA and I listed my top 10 players in the league. James Harden is the fourth best player in the entire world. He's the second best scorer we have ever seen in our lifetime. Michael Jordan will never be beaten as the number one. James Harden is an unstoppable force who can get his offensive shot whenever he wants it, and he has single-handedly put the Rockets on his back, and Westbrook has performed good here and there. The Rockets are going to be a very tough matchup for whoever they face in that second round. Most likely right now, depending on where everything lines up, the Lakers look like they're kind of manipulating the bracket a little bit in order to have the Rockets play the Clippers in the second round. The Clippers are trying to manipulate that bracket so that the Los Angeles Lakers have to go through not only Portland in the first round, but then have to go through the Houston Rockets in the second. But it looks like the Rockets are going to end up on the ladder, going to be facing the Los Angeles Clippers. Whoever is facing these Rockets in the second round, be fearful. Be worried. The Rockets have not only beaten the Clippers, but they have beaten the Bucks, but they have also beaten the Los Angeles Lakers. They have knocked off every top dog in the league. I would not want to play the Houston Rockets right now. And James Harden is simply the best scorer in the game right now. That's right, I said it. James Harden is the best scorer. Now, Kevin Durant is not healthy right now, of course. When Kevin Durant comes back and he's in full swing, Kevin Durant's the second best player in the world, arguably the first, depending on who you talk to. But James Harden as a scorer, talking about simply offense, he's the best scorer in the game right now. He can get off any shot that he wants. Free throws, he's incredible. He can drive, he can shoot. He's been playing defense in these bubble games. That's what I make of the Houston Rockets. They're a team to fear. They're led by Russell Westbrook and James Harden, which is a dynamic duo. They are going to cause a lot of problems for a lot of teams in these playoffs. I don't think that they will be able to end up eventually matching up if they match up with the Lakers. They will just inevitably not be able to handle their size, not be able to handle AD and LeBron on the court at the same time with a JaVale McGee or a Dwight Howard. So once you get all of that taken care of, I just don't see them pushing forward to a championship. But the Rockets are a great team, and I would be afraid to play them. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of our show today. First and foremost, I do want to say thank you all for listening. Make sure you tune in this coming Tuesday to a brand new episode of The Locker Room. Make sure you tune in next Saturday to an NBA Bubble Edition, episode 3 next Saturday. I know I ranted a little bit today, but I'm so excited. I'm so fired up. I love what I do. I love the amount of questions we got this week. It was so cool to see how many people actually cared enough to write in. So don't mistake my craziness. It is 100% passion for what I do. I love this. I love you guys. Thank you for listening. Make sure you follow The Locker Room on our social media platforms. On Twitter, TLR with Jacob. On Facebook, The Locker Room host Jacob. And on Instagram, The Locker Room Podcast 615. And once again, I'm Jacob Courtwright, and this is The Locker Room.